past few weeks have been about us setting the pace and putting the pressure on Manchester City. This coming weekend, things will be different. We've done our job pretty much to the best of our ability as of late to keep the pressure on the citizens. Over to you, Manchester City. We'll be in your neck of the woods on Sunday, hopefully talking about extending the lead. Off we go. How's it? Welcome into another episode of Loose Cannons. You guys know who I am. The real Ryan is below me in the ATL. What's up, man? How are you?
I'm good, brother. I'm good. I don't know. Just it feels like we're in the spot now with these games coming up. I've never felt more comfortable. You would think we should be so much more nervous, right, with what's at stake. But I don't know. In a good spot. So I don't know. It's a weird feeling though. But yeah, feeling good.
Good shit. Beside him is Stoner Glenn. I think I'm done with the AFC New York thing. I think you're just now like Stoner Glenn. I think that's where we're going.
Okay. Well, you can't. Whatever. Hi, I'm Glenn, AFC New York for now. I'm on X. I'm on YouTube. I'm flirting with the idea of Rumble. It looks like fun over there, too.
I'm not sure you want to say you're on X anymore because people are going to think with the whole Stoner thing that you're on ecstasy and like every little thing that you touch, you're going to be like, oh, my God, it feels
good. Lord. Have you really painted me as that big of a drug?
Look at Ryan. Holy shit.
What?
Oh,
I come on. I cannot unsee that.
Nice.
I think Ryan, I don't think Ryan can spell sun. Look at those pasty shoulders. Jesus.
Yeah, listen.
You're practically see-through, man.
All right.
Oh,
yeah.
Sorry,
Leave him alone. Leave him alone.
I was going to wear a t-shirt underneath it, but fuck it, man.
I love the jersey. It's good.
I'm Glenn, AFC New York. I'm on X and YouTube and considering Rumble because that looks like fun over there. And like Ryan next to me, I am really looking forward to talking about Arsenal. And Ryan, be careful how positive you are because BG will punch you in the face.
He's got to get.
He's Stoner Glenn. You're just negative Nancy, Tanner. I guess.
Oh, there it is.
You.
Yeah, and apparently, Mr. Sun's out, guns out.
Hold on.
Is it a Charles Oakley jersey?
Yeah, it is. It is. I was gonna literally take it off and show BX. It is. I have Oakley on the back.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I stopped watching the NBA about 2016, 2017. Knicks are good again.
Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah, they look
I was a
good.
diehard NBA fan.
I'll tell you what I rediscovered the other day. By the way, Sunday night. So I was bored. I went on YouTube and I'm like, you know what? The Knicks Pacers series hadn't started. So I decided to go on YouTube and look up old, the 90s Knicks Pacers playoff series. You know, Reggie, looking over at Spike Lee. That whole, man.
It's beef. Because
I went down a rabbit hole of Knicks and Pacers playoff shit from the 90s.
Yuck.
That was good basketball, man. That was awesome.
Yeah,
that was
fun.
But what I rediscovered was the old NBA on NBC theme song.
Yeah.
Yeah. I got all fired up. That might be the new theme now.
It's coming
Before
back.
an Arsenal game, I might just start playing that song. By the way, do you guys all know who John Tesh is?
Yeah.
So John Tesh wrote that song. And it's funny. So the way he explains the story of actually coming up with it, he was away, didn't have a piano or a keyboard to actually play it out. And he called his answering machine at home and left a message of him singing the song.
That's funny.
It's crazy.
Yeah,
And I
that's
just think
awesome.
of John Tesh as like
That's awesome.
adult soft rock or something on Delilah overnight on some AM radio station. Glenn will know all about that. But anyway, enough about Ryan's see-through arms in his Charles Oakley jersey, which, by the way,
it took a lot of confidence to come on here.
Which is badass, by the way. I love the Charles Oakley jersey.
Ryan's skin looks like a newborn fish. If you take off that shirt, can we see your heart beating?
Right.
Oh my God, Ryan.
The clothes back on as we speak.
Absolutely. Oh no, dude, you got
I don't care. It's fine. Glenn's gonna forget about that and probably say the same thing 5 minutes later.
He's right. He's completely right.
Anyway, let's get on to topic here. I don't know if anybody's really listening or watching us to hear us talk about Ryan's arms in his Charles Oakley jersey in the NBA. So we did play a game at the ass crack of dawn over here anyway, on Saturday.
Did you all watch it live?
Yep.
Yeah,
I did.
Me too. I got up at like 4:30 and I couldn't get back to sleep. I'm sorry. Go ahead, BG.
I went right back to sleep. I actually went to the bar to watch. So Sunday was the Pittsburgh Marathon, and I was getting messages from a fair amount of folks that were in from out of town for the marathon, but wanted to come out and watch the game. And I'm like, and I worked the night before. So it's like, I'm not getting home till 3:30 in the morning. I got like 2 hours of sleep, wake up, go watch the game. I did come home and go back to sleep. But, so first half kind of, story of not finishing our dinner, which we've had these moments quite a few times. I mean, we were all over them. We really were. And I'm a little surprised at the way that Burnley came out.
Bournemouth.
I'm sorry, Bournemouth, not Burnley. Yeah, Bournemouth, Burnley, Bromley, Burton, Bath, all these B towns over there. When it's funny because when they came out in the second half, that's how I expected them to come out in the first half. Like, come at us. I mean, you guys are pretty good, or at least you've been playing, pretty well of late. I expected them to really kind of come at us. Instead, I was pretty surprised. They just kind of sat back and tried to absorb the pressure, and we gave them all that they could handle. It probably should have been 4-0 at halftime. We'll come to the penalty in a bit, but I'll start with you, Real Ryan. Thoughts on the first half of the game, because like I said, I think we just it's fun to watch when you dominate a team like that and you get the chances, but you've got to finish the chances. Anyway, I'll turn it over to you.
Yeah, I mean, I think when you're playing against us at home, that's kind of what teams have to do, because the game can be over in 15 minutes. And they just have to hope that we don't have our finishing boots on, and we didn't, right? So in their mind, maybe it was working a little bit. We weren't putting away our chances, because it just seemed every 5 minutes someone should have scored, right? And I felt confident that I knew it would come. But that's what teams have to do now when they come to the Emirates, because you want to play open, and we just exploit weaknesses so well now. We're just so solid defensively that if we are putting away our chances, it can be 3-4-0 in 20 minutes and it's over. So I get why Bournemouth came out like that. To your point, we had a lot of chances. We were cutting them up. I mean, there was a few that I couldn't believe him going. I mean, Declan Rice had one, Partey had one that he blasted over. Odegaard people were blocking him. I mean, it was a barrage. So I came out I came away from it knowing that we're probably comfortable, even though Bournemouth has been really good. They just battered Brighton the week before. So I think we're just in one of those grooves, man, one of those flows where we feel really confident and comfortable in what we're doing. Teams have to come to us knowing that they probably can't play the way that they probably would like to, and they have to, be very careful on how they approach us. And that's honestly probably what we'll see. I know the season's coming to an end, but that's what we've seen a lot this year, teams playing that way. So it's not surprising, even though they have been on a run of good form. And I don't really know. I'm not saying they don't have anything to play for, right? Like, obviously they want to win the game. So that part is surprising that they didn't want to at least try to play how they want. Like, I mean, it's not like they're fighting for a European spot, or, you know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
So I don't know, but yeah, I mean, no complaints after the 3-0, but yeah, it was a little bit frustrating to just kind of get the first goal, and then after that, it was all good.
Yeah, Glenn, just overall thoughts on the first half.
The first half was one of the most enjoyable halves of the season for me, and I did expect them to come out in the second half and play better. Just a very enjoyable game. I expected us to do that. That's all I can say. But that's all you want me to say.
He is a man of few words.
Well, you told me just how did I feel about the first half.
But those words will count, and so will his actions.
Ryan expressed everything that I wanted to say. The passing was fantastic. Some of those no-look behind-the-back passes, I was just like, "Oh, this is better than Wenger ball."
Yeah, it was really enjoyable football to watch. I just wish we could have finished. OG, take it away. And you know what? Give me the first half, and I'll let you segue into the penalty because I'm sure you've got some things to say about it.
I don't really have much to say of the first half. I think it was probably one of, if not our most dominating half of football we've played all season. I don't know. I don't really read into us like not finishing. They blocked a lot of our shots. We weren't really playing around too much like we normally do when we dominate. But overall, yeah, it was great to watch. And Bournemouth 5th place since January or whatever. We're better than them. I wasn't worried. I knew we were going to score. Whatever. We dominated them. We're better than them. The penalty, interesting. I immediately when it happened, I'm like, oh, this is Saka Bayern again. Sort of, not really. After watching both clips again, it's not really the same, but kind of is. I don't know what to tell you. It's definitely a penalty. I like, should it be? And this is, again, goes back to our conversation kind of with the Saka Bayern thing. And I've brought this conversation up multiple times when talking about penalties. There's just certain, and we'll get into it probably more talking about their disallowed goal. But yeah, I mean, should that be a penalty? I don't know. I think the rules need an overhauling. VAR needs to work at the Premier League, and they need to figure out what's what, because they've been inconsistent all season. They've been a pain in the ass for multiple teams all season, probably every team. I mean, it's a penalty. I mean, Kai's running, the goalie misses him. He hits him in the back leg. I think this wasn't talked about, and I think it's tough to have different rules for different players, but if you watch Kai Havertz run, he runs like Bambi. Like I don't think he dangles his. Like, I just think that's how he runs. He runs like he doesn't really like.
So you don't think you don't think he dragged that back foot?
I don't know. I think it's harder to say than most players because he has a weird. If you watch him run,
he has a strange gait.
He has a weird get up to him where he doesn't really take his feet that far off the ground. So like if he were to come out and the interview like I didn't leave my foot out, I was running, he clipped it, I would have believed him. He's like the one player. I'm telling you, he runs like a deer. It's very odd the way he runs. But it's in the same respect. It's like he doesn't have. People say like, oh, he was looking for contact. Oh, so today I learned that Kai Havertz is the first human being to have eyes in the back of his head because he was gone. He was gone. He passed the keeper. And then his back leg, which he couldn't see, he gets caught. Like, looking for contact. I think that was the most bizarre comment that I heard. And I think the commentator said it. I don't know who is the commentator for the American game, but okay. Like, I get him leaving his leg out there. Like, oh, maybe the goalie will hit it. Like, I don't know. But like saying he was looking for contact is nuts because he was already past the keeper at that point. Like, he couldn't see behind him. So, but I mean, and at the end of the day, it's a penalty. I do think plays like these should be looked at in future seasons because it just you need the consistency of it all. And I get every play's different, but it's definitely an interesting one.
Glenn, penalty, not a penalty. What say you? You're muted.
Checking off my bingo box. Glenn mutes himself.
Yeah, right.
Honestly, I should need to check it off. It's the free space.
It's the free.
It's the free space in the middle.
You know the one you could check off?
I'll just cough in the middle of your monologues then, guys. Sorry. Okay. Let me preface this by saying I'm sure we all remember about 3 years ago when a majority of Arsenal fans wanted Zaha. And I hate guys that fake penalties. It just makes me crazy. Anyway, so now this is my opinion. Okay, you can jump on me if you want because I'm putting it out there. Okay, this is my opinion. Saka, Bayern at home. That's a 10 out of 10 for me. Left his leg out on purpose. When I saw the Havertz thing, I was like, oh no, it's fucking Saka again. And then when I saw the replay, I'm like, I can see why they would give this. But I still didn't like it. I still thought there was a little dragging of the leg. I can't stand cheating. I can't stand it. But yes, it was a penalty based on the way things are right now.
Just real quick, I'm giving you guys homework. The next time you watch Havertz run, watch how not even run, watch how he like jogs. He like I don't know what to say. Like if it was any other player, I'd be like, oh, he left that leg out there. But it was Havertz. I'm like, he's long, he's lanky. Again, I will defend. I will die on this hill. He runs like Bambi.
I like him. I wouldn't say Bambi. I would say he runs like a gazelle. That's how I would describe it, and I love it. I do agree with you.
Real Ryan.
Yeah. I mean, how many times have we seen Harry Kane do this? Against us, especially. Yeah. And his is way worse. You feel like his leg even comes outside of his body to make sure that he's getting contact. And the unfortunate thing to me is, yeah, I think, and I agree with Ryan's point on how he runs. He has this weird glide to him that his legs just don't chop. Really, they just kind of smoothly, So it's kind of, and he's awesome. He's a great runner. But there's no reward to avoid the contact. Let's just say he does everything he can to step over that arm and he doesn't get to the ball and he just knocks it into the side netting. It's like, so I get why players do it, because the alternative to try and avoid the contact and get out of the way and still scramble back to get to the ball and get a shot is probably not a goal scoring opportunity. It's a goal scoring opportunity, but more often than not, it's not going to go in. So I understand why players do it, and it's a tough call, because as a referee you're going to have to decide who's faking it and who's not, which is always going to be up for debate, and it's just going to cause more drama or whatever you want to call it. But as it stands now, you just have to call these ones, and so I'm not surprised. He went straight away, towards the spot. So. How it is now and how the rules are presented to us and how I think referees have done it for a while now, they're going to give those. So yeah, not surprising at all. And I think, at the time kind of needed to score. So I think it happened at a good moment. And yeah, it's a pen.
He drags his back foot. It's not a question. Like no one runs like that.
Watch him. Watch him play.
The toe's on the ground. He's dragging his foot. But hang on, hear me out.
Okay.
Like he's dragging his foot. It's one thing for your feet when you run have to come off the ground. It's physics. You can't if your foot doesn't come off the ground, you're dragging it and you're not running.
Hold on.
He left his foot back there. Look, it's a great play by Kai Havertz. And by the letter of the law, at least as far as I think I understand it, contact by the goalkeeper who didn't get the ball, he sees, to OG's point, he doesn't have eyes in the back of his head, but he sees him coming, and he sees him go in to make the tackle and win the ball, and he doesn't. And he knows where the leg is going to be, so he drags the back foot. To Glenn's point about cheating, this isn't cheating. This is, you're always, every athlete in every sport will do what they can to gain a competitive advantage. You know what I mean? It's pine tar on the gloves or on the handle of the bat. You get a little bit something there. A pitcher's got a little something on the underside of his cap. It's, rub some Vagisil on it. You know what I'm saying? Somebody get that movie reference. Come on, lob it up, Major League.
I got it.
Yeah,
I'm dying to reply one
the
thing
old
to you.
guy. I forgot the
Yeah.
fucking guy's
But
name.
anyway, I think it's a penalty. I do think it's a penalty. I do agree with you, Ryan, that he does have an awkward gait to his stride. He's dragging the foot. And look, and this is one of those things. I'm perfectly okay with it because everybody else does it. It's not the same old Arsenal always cheating. It's same old Arsenal, same old United, same old City, same old Tottenham, same old Chelsea. They all do it. They all do it. And it worked. And it has worked in the past. So if it works for everybody else, why not us? Why are we going to be the standard bearer of playing the game the right way? This is how the game is played. And they are looking for contact. So to Ryan's point about the not looking for contact, not looking for contact. Of course they're looking for contact. They are. That's that you're trying to draw in that moment. Do you say, well, stay on your feet and score the goal? Which is the easier of the two? Go down, draw the contact yourself and go down and win the penalty, which he did, or hope that you maintain possession of the ball because just getting around the goalkeeper is going to be awkward. You have to maintain possession of the ball and get the shot away at an awkward angle. So I like what he did. It's a penalty, but he also dragged his foot. He drew the contact. He drew the foul. We hear it all the time in the NBA. He drew the foul, and won. He drew the foul.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's guys playing defense got to do what he's got to do. You're taking the chance. The goalkeeper took the chance. Travers took the chance. He missed. Well, he didn't miss. He missed the ball. So this is one of those. Both things, in my opinion, can be true at the same time. Havertz dragged his back foot, looking for the contact. It is a penalty. So
I think looking for contact is a poor way of wording it. I think he left it out there and goes, if he gets it, because I believe he put his foot in a position where if it gets hit, it's a penalty. If it doesn't get hit, I still think he has a good chance. I still think he has a good chance at goal, and I think he's fine. I think he maintains momentum. He's not going down, and I think the play just happens organically. And I think I will say to Glenn's point though, is there is a part of me that wishes that he would have stayed on his feet and tried to finish the chance, and kind of like I'll say earn it. So but if the ball didn't hit him, he would have stayed on his feet. So what are we talking about?
Well, and he could have lifted up his back foot and gotten over the goalie.
But why?
So to do exactly what you're saying and get the shot away on his own.
To me, it's one of two situations. Him dragging his foot or not doesn't what's the word looking for? It doesn't inhibit him from scoring this goal. It's the goalie that nicks him in the back leg that inhibits his goal. So if was it Travers? If Travers does not hit him his back leg, I think he still has a shot on goal, dragging his foot or not dragging his foot. He leaves it out there.
I think he's dragging his foot to.
I understand what you're saying, but there is a world where Travers doesn't hit his dragging foot. So he's still on net. He doesn't fall. He's still upright. He still had a shot on net. It's not like he dove and got clipped.
Glenn, go ahead. You're chomping at the bit over there.
No. And Ryan, let Ryan finish his thought.
No, he left it out there. If he hit it, it's a foul. If he doesn't hit it, I don't think it changes what he was doing with the ball. It's not like he went down as a contact tap. Well, it's not like he was like diving and it's like, it was a contact goes or not contact. No. He left his foot out there. Keeper touched it. That's it. It's done. I don't think I put it this way. If Travers didn't touch his leg, I don't think Havertz is going down and diving there.
Just so you guys know, the clip I made of the show, I thought was hysterical. I loved when everybody rightfully yelled at me. Now, having said that, I think this is a generational thing. I know I'm not going to convince you guys, but you have to let me say it. You want to take me apart? I don't give a shit. Okay. This trying to cheat by faking a penalty. I think is a cultural thing that's baked into the cake. The way BG is describing it, especially in South American countries, players from there. Not everyone. I'm not stereotyping, but for me, I think I'm old school. Okay, this club kid for me is about style and class, and there's no room for cheating to win a game. And that's it. I don't give a shit what you fucking guys say. I don't give a shit what anyone says in the fucking comments. I don't give a shit. Style and class does not equal cheating to win a game.
I don't understand anything Glenn just said.
Fuck you. Yes, you do, you fucking idiot. Yes, you fucking do.
Here we go.
So you're okay. Time out. No.
You want to argue over something that's subjective.
Glenn,
okay,
Glenn,
in your generation X, it's okay to cheat.
All.
Go ahead and fucking cheat. All right? Yes. So in BG's generation, Ryan, I don't know how old you are because black don't crack, but I'm sure in your generation, cheating.
What the shit? What are we doing?
I'm very confused here. I'm very
confused.
What
are we doing right now?
Black don't crack is a compliment.
It is.
That didn't mean to say it again. I know it's a compliment.
Half of my family is black, by the way.
Nice.
So I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it, Ryan, up top. This is your Gen X that says it's okay to fucking cheat. And BG, who just tries to fucking sit on the fence. And Ryan, who just sits there amazingly and intelligently quiet.
Well, he's trying to not let it. He's making sure his black don't crack, Glenn. That's why he's just sitting there.
Tanner, can you
guys make me so fucking mad? I'm gonna be listening, but you're not gonna see me right now because I have something that will calm me down.
All right. Good. Okay. No. Okay. So when Glenn gets back, I want him back. I want him on camera. I want him to look at Jackson's comments.
God damn it! I can hear you.
All right. Well, I want you camera because I want you to read something. I know reading's not. No, not that one. I know reading's not your strongest level, but if you bait someone going a bad tackle, I have no problem. That's exactly what he did. So you're saying, but Glenn, do you agree with the statement that Jackson just said?
If you've baited someone into going for bad tackle, I have no problems. Okay, he makes a point. Yes.
Right. Okay. Do you think Havertz did that, or do you think he cheated?
You're not letting me.
No, I'm asking you a question.
I'm trying to be respectful because you said I don't listen to you last.
I'm just asking a question. Do you think Havertz baited Travers going into the bad tackle, or do you think Havertz outright cheated?
I don't know how we're even debating this because I heard your description of it.
No, but so my point is with you answering that is because I don't know where you're coming from. I don't understand what you're talking about. You're talking about class.
You think you said that you think he left his leg there a little. Am I wrong that I heard you say you think he might have left?
I'm the one who I said I thought.
Which I mean, I think he did. Yeah, I don't think he was pulling his leg out anytime soon. Okay. Yeah.
See, that's just not acceptable.
So you're saying that's cheating?
Yes.
Okay, so you don't agree
your leg there.
So you don't agree with Jackson's statement. You think he just outright cheated.
That's all right. If we have to, you know what? You guys are cornering me where I have to.
I'm asking you a question. I'm not cornering him.
No, that's it because it's a good question. I bet that fucker is a lawyer. I'm cornered. I'm cornered. I have to say yes based on what I just screamed about.
Glenn, do you think tactical fouling is cheating?
No, not at all. If there's a break,
why not?
What?
Oh, I see what you're saying. Oh, I see.
Glenn,
I think you put yourself in a corner right now. I don't think we did anything.
Let me ask you this one.
You know what? I'm going to have to narrow my focus, or you guys can pick me apart for the next 20 minutes.
No.
Wait a minute. I've got.
Can I narrow my focus? Is that allowed?
Yes.
Because you're all fucking killing me right now.
No.
In baseball. If a batter leans into a pitch, now I'm not talking leaning over the plate into the pitch, but say he turns his shoulder and just kind of leans, ball's inside. He turns his shoulder, leans into it. Is that cheating?
That's such a broad statement, though, BG. Because
what?
Because you can look at a replay and see if he tried to move out of the way.
Well, that's what I mean. I'm saying no. You look at the okay, in that
if he moves into it, then he
turns his shoulder because obviously he doesn't want to take it on the elbow or the wrist, so he turns his shoulder into it, but he leans a little bit toward the plate.
Right. Then yeah, he did it on purpose, and
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. So if he does it on purpose, is that cheating?
Okay, as I just said, you guys are
Yeah, but
rightfully.
your point is very well taken, by the way.
I agree.
I need to.
I agree with the cheating thing. I just don't think this constitutes cheating.
I want to narrow my focus so that I stop, because it's just like, stop hitting me. It really is crazy.
Oh,
And
by
you
the
know-
way,
Don't have
feel
wrong
like-
opinions, Glenn. Don't have wrong opinions. What do you
here
want me
we
to tell
go.
you?
well,
You can
yeah,
have
but you
whatever
see,
opinions you want.
everything that you guys are saying outside of the box is correct, and I'm wrong. So can I just narrow?
You said a funny phrase. Outside the box. Yes, Glenn, narrow it down. I'm ready to pick you apart. I'm getting my gloves. Hold on. I'll be right back.
All right,
Oh,
all right,
God.
that's cool. You get your gloves, and
Oh, no.
my God, I don't even know what I said. So if it results in if you cheat to result in a penalty, can I please narrow that focus, or you guys can just continually beat on me?
No, I think I know what you're saying. Like, I mean, obviously we've seen players dive and not get touched, and sometimes they're given, sometimes they're not, and I feel like that's cheating. I feel like, to Jackson's point, and it's a good one, like, it's not up to the attacker to avoid a bad challenge. Like, I don't have to do everything I can to avoid your mistake. You know what I mean? And that's what I think Havertz was doing. Is like, you went for the ball, you didn't get it, and I don't have to, hurdle you so I can have a worse chance to score because you did that. So I'm dangling a leg a little.
Okay.
It's fine for me.
Ryan, before you take me apart, just remind me what I did.
You said outside. Well,
outside the box, I said.
Yeah, I don't.
Okay.
To me,
And you did hear the part where I said, that results in a penalty, right? You heard that. Because when I say outside the box,
a foul in the box does result into a penalty most
right.
of the time.
I just wanted to make sure we were on. All right, now you can take me apart. And
But no, I don't need to take you apart. By the way, it's BX. I just wanted a Oakley baby. No. So what I was gonna say was, I already forgot what I was gonna say. Okay, no, a foul. And I get it. And I think you're onto something, Glenn. I think we're gonna come to a little bit of a crossroads where we kind of agree on something.
I love Crossroads.
Yeah, great movie, Britney Spears. Everyone should check
Oh,
it out.
no, that's not what I meant.
Anyways, I can't believe my brain just thought of
movie.
that. I've actually never seen the movie. Anyways, yeah. So a foul in the box is a penalty, and should a foul in the box be different than a foul on the pitch? Now, all rule books, you go to the FAs, UEFA, you go wherever you want. A foul outside the box. A foul in the box. A foul. It doesn't matter if it's a foul outside the box. Then it's foul in the box. There's no special treatment because it's inside the box. So then, therefore, to me, your argument doesn't make sense because I guess your argument doesn't make sense by the letter of the law. But I do agree. I think there are some plays inside the box that, yes, they're a foul outside the box wherever you go. I think there should be, certain measures and microscopes should be looked under, and maybe some kind of policy change or rule change should be in effect, because Premier League goal penalties are, I think it's just the Premier League, are at 92% efficiency. So 92% of penalties are being scored, which is a record high for the league. You're giving a goal for a foul in a certain area in the pitch, and in this whole season, or ever since VAR has came into effect, it's always been like, oh, too soft, too hard, harsh, whatever. Is it a penalty? Is it not a penalty? Well, it's a penalty. That statement to me that I've said, a million times. But if it's a foul on outside the field anywhere else, then it's a foul in the box. What does it matter? But when you're fouling in that box, you're giving a 90% chance for a goal. Which, I mean, essentially, let's just be honest, it's a goal. You're giving them a goal. And I think something like that, does need to change. I think, giving goals is not. I think giving goals should be. Giving goals. I think a goal should be earned. I don't know. I think, and I don't really want to go down this fucking rabbit hole about VAR and what needs to be changed. But at the end of the day, yeah, I do think that it's a slippery slope, and something does need to change. And giving goals for something like this. And I think that's kind of what my
final point on this situation is just giving a goal for that. I don't know. I think it's harsh for the Bournemouth fans. It's harsh for the Bournemouth team to give a goal for that. But again, you go back to it. Is it a foul? To me, it's 100% a foul. Jackson couldn't have said it better himself. He baited him. He took it, and that's it. I don't know. No cheating for me detected. So I'll leave it at
that. Yeah. Wow. That.
Sometimes I just have to shut up because
Boy,
he made every point.
I try.
No, like I said, I think I think both things can be true. I think that Havertz dragged his foot, and I do think that it is also a penalty. I think Kai Havertz dragging his foot created the penalty, but it was also rightfully given. So it shouldn't be waved off because Havertz dragged his foot. Like, you went in for what amounted to basically probably a 50-50 challenge. You got a 50% chance of winning that ball. And if you miss, so the goalie is taking that chance. Goalkeeper saying, I'm going to take the chance of conceding a penalty because I think I can get the ball. That's kind of how I see it. So,
Yeah.
And I guess like another way to kind of relate, probably a little more crazier. If a player, we'll just say Lisandro Martinez, because maybe we're playing him coming up. If he goes in 2 foot someone at the knees, goes high, dangerous tackle. I'm not going to name who it is because I don't want to put that bad juju there. But let's say it doesn't matter who it is. He goes in 2-footed high, tackle. It's a red card offense if he makes contact, but he misses. So you're saying, oh, like, that's fine. Like, everything's. I mean, I guess yeah, by law, it's fine. But to me, you're putting that effort in, and you're 2-footing. Like, it's very dangerous. It's very high. He could have easily broken someone's knee or torn things, and it's like at that point, it's like, well. So you're saying you need someone to get hurt for the red card to be produced? Like, yeah, maybe I could guess, but it's just, I don't know. I just think I feel like I've had this discussion like a few months ago, or a few weeks ago. I just think the rules need to evolve with the game because the game is constantly evolving. The athletes are only getting stronger, faster, better, more athletic, and I think just things need to change, whether it's, being more harsher, giving out more cards, giving out less cards. But I think something overall needs to be done because situations like this to me shouldn't be this heavily discussed on a game where we fucking destroyed Bournemouth, dominated them. They had no chance. And like, here we are talking about, for the first 40 minutes, we're talking about a penalty. Like,
that's because I'm sorry, BG. Can I just say one thing? Real quick? This is because of me being so forceful about my beliefs. But the Premier League always moves. The Premier League always moves too slow when it comes to progress. Next year they're going to have the automated offside, so we're not going to have to wait for that because it's going to be automatically done. But it is frustrating because that's what we talk about all the time, but they just take longer. The Bundesliga does a better job with VAR than the Premier League does because they're putting all the wrong people in the wrong positions. So we can sit here and take each other apart. Let's just win these next 2 games and win the league.
Here. Do we want to talk about the absolute travesty that was the tackle on Bukayo Saka, since we're talking about dangerous?
Oh, that was nasty.
Dude, it's honestly when. Well, okay. Well, the one thing I'll say is, well, no, that's a lie. I have 2 things to say. I expect it, and I think when the player, whether we're playing or 2 other teams are playing, when the player does receive a red card, I'll be shocked. I'll be like, oh, whoa, what's that? What do you mean it's a red card? I'll be surprised. But the one thing I'll say is, and Clive brought it up on Arsenal Vision, which is a very good point, is sooner or later, like, everyone's got a breaking point. Like, sooner or later, Saka's just going to get angry and take things into his own hands, and he's going to do something stupid. Like, he's our star boy. He's very calm, composed, cool, and I hope he is. I really do. But these refs just aren't protecting him in particular. And I think there's, I think this happened to Tomiyasu. It's happened to other players, but specifically Saka. He gets bullied a lot, and he's gonna get cards. He may even get a sending off in the future. Like why? For I just think I know the ref's first job in refereeing a game of football is protection of the players, no matter above everything. Not upholding the rules, not making sure the game is scored correctly. It's player safety, and they're doing a real disservice to Saka. And something I hope not, but Saka is gonna he's gonna clap back. He's gonna foul back. Now is it gonna be like that? I hope not. I don't think so, but you're setting an ugly precedent, and for what? The refs are just they're just not doing their job. They're not taking player safety as numero uno. Now, do we maybe need to introduce like 3 yellow cards equal a red, or do we need to, because it's fine margins. 2 yellows is a red, and there's a lot of potential yellow card offenses out there, and it's very easy for me in a game of football. How many times have we came on here and been like, this player should have been sent off, that player should have been sent off, because of all the potential yellow cards I could get. I get that. So then maybe make 3 yellows as a red or something like that, because you can't have that in the game. You can't put the ref at a decision. I mean, you should. Christie should have been sent off. There's no doubt about it. He's trying to hurt the player. It's dangerous. It's high. It's got all the recipe for a red card. But refs don't want to do that because they don't want to impact the game at 13 minutes in or whatever. What was it, 13, 15 minutes in? They don't want to impact the game. They don't want to change the game. They don't want to change the lanes of the game. The refs' number one job is players' safety. So something, again, it goes back to just changing something with the rules or doing something. I don't know. Player safety should always be number one. And you'd think like with a business model and the Premier League trying to promote in America, with now we can watch most of the games here, and they want to promote this product and they want to accumulate a lot of money and people watching. It's going to be hard when the stars are getting hurt and injured and not playing, and you have like the bench in, because the refs aren't really kind of nipping this thing in the bud. So I don't know, but it's something just it needs to change, and the refs just need to do their job in protecting the players. Numero uno.
I can, Ryan, I know you're itching to go. And BG, just let me say something real quick, because I agree with half of Ryan and I disagree with the other, but we can't, neither one of us can be right where we disagree. I think Saka has a great head on his shoulders, and I don't think he's going to do that. But then again, he's in his early 20s, and, he's got a ton of money. So maybe he would react the way you're saying, where he's going to get himself a red card. But I really started to see a really good head on that kid's shoulders after he missed that penalty for England, and the way he dealt with it. And since then, he's been top notch. The kid always wants to play. Arsenal fans are screaming, give him a rest, but it's because he wants to play all the time. And like any elite player, players are going to go after him. And this is where I agree with Ryan. Refs can do a better job to protect these elite players, because to make it to the Premier League, to make it to a level where you're playing against Saka and your job is to fucking stop that quick, super talented, world-class player, you're going to do your best. And sometimes it's going to be a cheap fucking shot, and the refs have to start calling this shit. But I am not worried about Saka as far as I can be, being just snapping, because he's got, I think Arsenal are the tallest, biggest team in the league. If not, they're like top 3. He's got a lot of guys around him saying, what are you doing to our mate? You know what I mean? So I'm not worried about that.
Really quick, the only thing is, I'm going to say really quick, the thing I will say is, Glenn, it takes one big injury to Saka.
I know.
One thing, Saka's out for the year, out for a very extended time. You're going to eat those words. You could have the biggest head on your shoulders.
I agreed with you. I don't have to eat any
I know. Well, I'm not going to say this because I don't remember who it was, but there was a player, I believe he played for Man U, or the Man U player hurt him. It was he got hurt, out for the year. Dude came back from his first game. He ends up playing the same guy that hurt him. I think the guy was on another team. Fucking cleaned him out. First chance he got sent off. So will Saka do that? No, I'm not saying that. But these refs need to do a better job protecting the players. That's all.
Ryan, jump in.
Yeah, I mean, this is the 3rd week in a row we've had to deal with a potential red card, right? So we saw what happened to Havertz, what happened to Tommy, and then Bukayo. And I mean, I agree with Glenn, and I agree with Ryan too. Like, I think Bukayo has a really good head on his shoulders. I think he's managed the right way, has, you know, the right people around him, all that stuff. I'm more worried about him snapping his leg from somebody than him retaliating. And it just reminds me, you know, kind of like, I mean, we've seen Neymar get absolutely kicked out of professional soccer. Now, maybe he's not taking care of himself like how he should, but these injuries, especially as you start to get older, they start to pile up, and it takes you longer to come back from them. He's young and he can recover quickly, and obviously we see he takes care of his body, but this can't go on forever. And we're seeing it too, where in the beginning of games, it's like the fouls just don't count. You can just do whatever you want. First 15 minutes, do whatever you want. Doesn't matter. We've seen it so many times. Him coming back to check for a ball from, you know, Saliba or whoever's on that side, coming in to check, and he just gets absolutely cleaned out on his first touch every time. And it's a couple of them. It's 4, 5, 6 of them before the ref even considers doing something about it, you know, because it's early and I don't want to change the tone and tenor of the game, and we don't want to give out reds or yellows this early because it's going to change the, you know, the flow or whatever. It's like, dude, that's secondary to Ryan's main point, is protect the players. I thought when Saka started to become one of the crown jewels of England, I was going to see a lot more protection for him that we would see from Harry Kane or other England internationals. Still waiting. Still waiting, not coming, never happening. Yes. We complain. I mean, I don't know about complaining, but I know that we have meetings with Pogba about, you know, show some videos like, hey, like, this is what's going on. Like, what are we doing? Nothing changes. I don't even think VAR didn't even look at it, right?
They did. They said it wasn't dangerous.
They said it was reckless, but not dangerous.
Yeah.
So you can't. So when VAR looks at it, you can't even give a yellow on that.
Well, hey, okay. Funny you say that, because they, again, Arsenal Vision said the same thing. Tim Stillman brought up a good point. So I didn't even know this. So when VAR sends the refs to look at the monitor for a challenge like that, and the ref goes to the monitor, the ref can give out a yellow when you're challenging. So the ref, so to me, crazy. you send him to the monitor and he gets yellow. Now, to be fair, I think this is gonna sound terrible in a way, but I almost think, to me, in that situation with Saka, I'd rather him not get a yellow than I'd rather him. To me, it's either a red or it's nothing. For him, giving a yellow is like, oh, like, so you know he fucked up, you know he fouled him, but it's not red card worthy. It's red card worthy all day long. So right. I'd rather them just say, fuck this, don't give him anything. But again, like, Christie ended up getting a yellow card, you know, later on in the match. And there was an argument that he should have got, I think there was a third incident with him that he should have maybe even got a yellow for that too. So I don't know. And then really quick with the Saka thing, like, Saka's probably the worst example I could have used as to losing his head.
You never know.
It can happen to any player, A, and B. Sometimes players don't fight their own fights. You know, that will happen. Next thing you know, Kai Havertz scissor kicks a Bournemouth player as revenge. You see that all the time in hockey. It happens. Yep. It happens in football. Not a whole lot, but it does happen. I could easily see a player that doesn't have his head and shoulders as well as Bukayo Saka, who, yeah, he probably has his head and shoulders probably better than any player in the Premier League, probably in the world. It's just, yeah, it's unfortunate.
I agree.
Sorry, I had to yell real quick, and then my beagle puppy Evie decided to come up and say hi. So anyway, so the second half, I mean, what else is there to say, really? I mean, I think we hit the big points on the first half with, you know, the Havertz penalty, the Saka challenge that, you know, resulted in absolutely nothing but a pretty nasty nick on his leg. Second half, the Declan Rice show, right?
Yeah.
You know, assist on the Trossard goal. And that's a great bit of play from Declan Rice there. And then, you know, he's able to go on and get his own goal at the end of the game. Real Ryan, I'll throw it to you if you want to make any final comments on the second half, Declan Rice, Trossard, anything else.
Yeah, I mean, also, I forgot to mention Odegaard was special in the first half. He's unbelievable.
Yeah.
This guy is so good. Second half, I mean, it's crazy that you look at a price tag on someone like that and you feel like you got a deal, because that's just every week I'm just like, dude, he's so good. I'm knocking my desk, like he's got an incredible engine. He doesn't get hurt, again, knocking on wood, please. And the positions that he's taking up and the ground that he covers is unbelievable, because even on his goal, he wasn't even in the frame. Like, and then all of a sudden he just comes out of nowhere. And also I want to give Jesus a nice, that was a great ball into him, and takes a touch, whack, goal. I mean, he's so good, and I'm impressed every time. I mean, just reliable. And he's the guy, and I love Saliba and Gabby, obviously, back there, but he's the one that makes me feel most comfortable that bad shit's not going to happen, because I just know that he will just bust a gut to get back, to get a leg in, to get a tackle, something. He will do something to make sure that, nonsense won't happen, on top of all the talent we already have back there. But that's a guy that just impresses me literally every week. So, I mean, it's crazy. We've been talking about him all year. There's like nothing else I can say about him. It feels like I'm doing him injustice by not like heaping more praise on him, but what else can I say about the guy? You know what I mean? So,
right.
Yeah, it's cool. And then Trossard, I mean, I know who was it, Ramsdale that said it last year when he was talking about guys coming in and talking about how, they're not coming in just to play or just to, be here. They're coming in to like get minutes, to get a starting spot. And I can't give Trossard enough credit for being like, bro, you're starting me. Like you're starting me. Like, I don't care. Like, you're starting me, because I'm the one that when we need a goal, I'm the guy doing it. Right. And we've seen it time and time again in huge games. Right. Saw against Porto, saw against Bayern Munich. Like, 1-0, we need something. Who's there? Trossard, so
yeah,
the guy's amazing, and maybe he's not even the profile that we want on that side like that. I think we still prefer someone who can really stretch the field and really have some pace. But if you're going to keep scoring, bro, you're not sitting down. So,
right.
So, yeah, I mean, you're talking about value for money. I mean, geez.
Yeah.
It's been such an enjoyable season. I agree with all of that. When Rice has the ball or Odegaard has the ball, I'm not worried. I'm like, oh, what's happening next? It's such a joy to watch them. As far as Trossard goes, he took Martinelli's job, at least for now. There's only really maybe 2 or 3 spots that Arteta's gonna, be switching people probably. Maybe Partey's spot too, but left back and left wing and Martinelli's on the bench, and I'm surprised every time I see the starting lineup. I'm like, he's going with Trossard again, and he should. So I'm just trying to enjoy this season. I just wanted to run something by you guys real quick. I hope this doesn't turn into a million discussion. And if you know who posted this, please don't say his name. But to me, it was the most disgusting post I have seen in this wonderful season we have had. It's a thumbnail. And please don't say his name if you know it. It says, "Why do we think second place is a trophy? Wake up, everybody." And I'm just like, what kind of attitude is that? What an enjoyable season this is. Sure, I'll be disappointed if we don't win the trophy, but I'm confident for all the reasons we've been talking about, and I hope this doesn't take up a complete conversation. I just wanted to see if you guys have that same mentality where it's like, if we come in second, this is it. Arteta out, change every. Are you guys the same way?
Yes.
Okay.
No. Come on.
I feel bad. I'll just say I feel bad for people like that.
Yeah.
If it's Glenn, look at the private chat, by the way, please. You know what, Glenn, I'm going to put it to you this way, and with all due respect, we're not even going to waste time on it because it's it's stupid.
I'm actually more mad at you than the person that posted it for bringing it up on this podcast.
Well, if they were just somebody that had, like me, that had, like 200 subscribers, this is a person with thousands of subscribers. And if you let me type to you guys privately who it was, you'll know.
I think I know, but Anyway,
All right, next.
done wasting
Next.
time on
All right,
it.
I'll talk about second half. So,
Go.
yes, Rice is my man of the match. He was brilliant. He was great defensively, great offensively in attack. He was wonderful. For me, it was between Saliba and Rice, and obviously Rice's goal kind of sealed it for me. Me and Jackson were talking for most of the game, and Rice is the real deal. He's the best. Him and Odegaard for me are neck and neck for player of the season. I know a lot of people are saying Saka because Saka's having a good second half of the year. Whatever. Rice and Odegaard easily for me. Rice is good, man. He's an engine that just never stops. We need to hold on to him forever, even when he's like 50. Yeah, he's just so good, well worth the money. And Trossard, like, again, constantly scoring goals, prove me wrong. Even though I still don't, long term, us winning Champions League, winning Premier League, I don't see him starting every game for us. Hopefully we get a left forward or a left winger in the transfer market in the summer. Not necessarily to replace Trossard and Martinelli, but we definitely need something there. We need competition there. Preferably not even necessarily a left winger. We need a forward that can play left forward, right forward, center, striker. I think it's what we need. I think we just need. I think Jesus is kind of that guy. I think he can do that, but I want someone better than Jesus. I want someone to take Jesus' job. So yeah.
Ryan, who was your man of the match?
Yeah, I mean, it was right. I mean, it was hard. I mean, in the first half, it was just like Odegaard was amazing. I mean, yeah, if you want to go the whole match, I mean, it was Rice, and Ryan made a good point too that I want to mention. Like, he's like, well, I don't really think we'll see Trossard like being on this team. If we're trying to change it, but like that's the cool part of where we're at now. Like, bro, that's okay, right? Like we're allowed to like have these upgrades and rate, and we've been. This is a saying that's just been going on for a while now. It's just continuing to raise that floor. And I think that's such a fun place to be in, that like we can bring in like better players than guys that are actually good right now. You know what I mean? It was such a Joe versus, Joes and Schmoes lineup where we just have like 12 good guys and that was all we could play. It's just like now we're starting to bed in like a lot of talent, and it's really cool that we can mix and match them and whatnot and deploy them in different positions. And honestly, like that's what I'm having a lot of fun with now. So, and I mean, I know we still need cover in some spaces and whatnot, but man, like that's been really cool.
Yeah, I agree. And I will, I mean, all right, me and Jackson kind of have a thing going on. We're kind of in love with each other, but sorry. Hopefully Mikey Hers doesn't hear this. But no, great point by Jackson. Honorable mention Tomiyasu. I think he doesn't, like, for what he does for this team and for what he's doing, he doesn't need to really show himself, like show out and be flashy and to score goals like Rice, to make assists like Rice. He's like you said, a professional performance. I think since he's came into the side, we've been just even better defensively, more confident in the back. And he's not allowing any of their bigger players, for whatever team we're playing, really get into the game. And it's going to be interesting to see, what he could do. I know Rashford's more of on the left, so I don't know if he'll really get a lot of Rashford, but it'll be very interesting to see what he could do against a really, really depleted Man U team. But I like this. I've been a big fan of Tomiyasu since he's came into the club. He's done a really professional performance, and I see a future with him. I see him really being in this back four for the future and continuing with the best defense in the Premier League.
Best defense in football worldwide.
Yeah. So let's move on and just real quick on United upcoming on Sunday.
Not talking about the Bournemouth penalty.
I'm
Yeah.
so done with
Or the disallowed goal, or what? They
Disallowed
had
goal.
Yeah,
Disallowed
sorry.
goal.
I missed that.
That was the last thing I wanted to bring up.
Yeah, you know
Yeah.
what? I'll say my piece on it real quick. I don't think it's
I
a foul.
changed my
I
opinion.
think the goal should have counted.
It should have.
I think it should have counted.
Okay.
I didn't see enough there to disallow it. Now you asked me, who was it? The other one? The United goal that was disallowed against Crystal Palace. I think that was properly waved off. I think there's infinitely more contact on the Palace goalkeeper. I mean, he goes into him and doesn't allow him to play his position. Raya was fine. So I think Bournemouth's goal should have counted. I agree with United's goal being waved off. That's my because you asked me about that. You wanted me to compare them.
I thought they
the
were
way
very similar. I thought they were very, very
I
similar.
thought they were, but I felt there was more contact against the Palace goalkeeper, and he was not able to play his. You have to let the goalkeeper play his position. I don't think Raya was impeded enough. I don't think Raya was really impeded at all.
All right. Well, I think we're going to have a long discussion with this because I disagree with both of your statements. I think.
Hang on. All right. Well, hang on because
I want to bring Glenn in.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I didn't know.
See, sometimes I know what I'm doing. Sometimes I know what I'm doing.
The only
Hey,
thing,
wait,
Ryan,
watch this. OG, you want to host next week?
I know. I'm hosting now for next week. So I want to bring Glenn in.
Ryan,
I know
love
Glenn's going to
to.
say something wrong, and then he's going to leave the show. And then I'm going to want to argue with him and be very upset that he had to leave the show.
Ryan, I have to
Which
go.
is Glenn. Funny enough, I don't know if you watch after you leave. I think it was like the last.
No, when I leave, I have to leave. What do you think? I'm like,
Oh,
guys, I have to leave, and then I watch.
Okay.
No,
Okay.
it's not what I
My
do.
point is, the last two shows, you've said two things. I don't even remember what they are, so it's not the point. But I have wanted to argue with you, and not argue with you. I didn't want to argue, but I just disagree and wanted to kind of like debate. But so the floor is yours. Go for it.
The floor is mine for what? Debating what? My wife.
Oh, I don't know. No, I'm just saying, like, talk about the penalties and give you your final thought.
Oh, okay.
The disallowed Bournemouth goal, and maybe you could bring up the menu if you saw it. If you didn't, that's fine. And then you kind of like go into your final.
I kind of agree with BG on that. Look, since I have to go, and I don't know how much longer I have. I see a lot of people super confident about the United game, but I think they're going to put up a fight. I think we're going to win. I'm saying 3-1. But I think it's going to be a fight for a while. What do you call it? Squeaky bum time for a long time. It's going to be one of those games where we're not having fun. You know what I mean? It's just going to be like, fuck, we just score already. But I'm confident we're going to get the 3 points. And I won't say anything else because BG will get mad. And I'll listen now. Until I have to go. So bye, everybody, and thank you for watching now and who watches later. But I mean, I'm staying until she bugs me.
It's tough. Like, I think that the one on Raya is a foul because I don't know if Solanke's actually playing the ball. I think he's just going there to get him out of position as Raya's going to make a play on the ball. So that's I gotta look at the Man United one again. But I think it's the inverse where I think they're both trying to play the ball, and Højlund's just maybe a little bit stronger, a little bit more athletic, and it kind of pops out or whatever. But ours, I think those are the ones that they've called, and you can see Solanke just kind of go over there and he's just like, he's not trying to play the ball. You know what I mean? So I think the ref rightly caught that. So that's where I stand.
I really wish I went before you because everything he said. I think the biggest, and it's funny because I texted both of you, and I said the opposite. I said that the Man U one is worse and definitely should be a foul. But I'm flipped. I watched both replays. To me, the biggest thing is playing the ball. I think when it doesn't matter. The keeper, player on the pitch doesn't matter. Playing the ball is the biggest thing. It's the number one thing in football. If you watch the replay of the Bournemouth one, Solanke looks at Raya. He looks at where the ball is. He looks at Raya. He's like, I gotta do something. I gotta move.
Yeah, he's like, I'm not getting there. Yeah,
I gotta move some things around. So you see him look at Raya and go, okay, well, I'm gonna move you out of the way. And he does exactly that. It's a foul. He doesn't play the ball. He plays the man. He's trying to move Raya out of the way. 100% the goal should not have stood. Foul. And the Man U thing, funny enough, I watched. So I'm a big Mark Goldbridge guy. I think he's a very smart guy, but I also think he's very entertaining. And I love watching the best bits of him live watching the Man U games.
Those are good.
And I don't know if you guys watched it, but I mean, they're a bad team. I mean, we'll get into this when we talk about the Man U game. They're very bad. And he knew they were going to lose, but like watching him freak out when they chalked off that Man U goal was just peak Goldbridge. It was hilarious. I was dying of laughter, and I was like, "You clown! That's That's the right call. It shouldn't be a goal. And yes, Alex, exactly that. And I watched the clip again, and I go, you know what? I actually agree with Goldbridge. I think that he's just stronger than the keeper. A defender should have got in there somehow and helped out. It was him and the keeper. He didn't really use his hands. He just went straight up. The goal, he didn't get to the ball went in the net. The keeper just needs to be stronger. They both went for the ball. Anywhere else in the pitch, anywhere else in the pitch, that's not a penalty. It's not a foul. It's nothing. So Menu got hosed a little bit.
Okay, I'm going to interrupt you here. The goalkeeper's only playing one area. For 98% of the 99.5% of the game, the goalkeeper's only playing in one area.
Okay.
Goalkeepers are there. How do I want?
They're protected. They're the quarterbacks.
They're refereed differently. That's
why I initially texted you both and said the Man U one's a lot worse. The Man U should definitely be a foul. They need to protect the goalie better. Like refs need to protect the goalie better. I did. I thought that, but Højlund and the keeper went straight up for the ball like that. Like I'm sorry.
No.
I literally just watched it. You can watch it.
Where the keeper leaves his feet and where he comes down are not in the same spot. There's no way you could say that they both go straight up in the air. They go up.
Højlund has
up here.
Højlund has to go up a little bit because the ball's going that way. But he's looking at. All right. I don't care.
Listen,
I don't care.
To do this.
He's looking at the ball the entire time. It is not a foul. He is looking at the ball the entire time. He has no idea where the keeper is. It's not a foul. Yeah, he's looking. You watch him. He's looking at the ball the entire time when he goes up. Yeah. Does he hit the keeper? Yeah. Keeper needs to be stronger. I'm sorry. The keeper
still 50-50, right?
They're in the air. They're in the air, and it's not a 50-50.
Okay. The keeper needs to be stronger. Doesn't matter.
Keeper's going to get the benefit of the foul.
Even more so, the keeper can use his hands. He has an advantage.
Wait, does he have an advantage? Because if
he uses his hands,
his arms are up here to try to get the ball. If you come into him right here, how is that an advantage?
Because he could use his hands to get rid of the ball.
If he can't get to the ball because you've come into him here when his arms are up in the air to catch the ball.
It's a fit. I disagree. They're going for the ball.
You can't tell him
has an advantage.
He's going for the ball, and he is impeded going to the ball.
They're both playing the ball, though. They're both looking at the ball. So
I understand that, but you have to be in control of your body.
But that's the rule. They're playing the ball. They're playing by the rules.
You don't think two outfield players going for the ball with their arms down and going to head the ball, you don't think that's a foul. If one goes into the other, it's going to get called every time.
No, what are you talking? Harry Kane made a living off of turning people over. I don't know.
No, Harry Kane would go into them and back in, like look at them and then back into them, make them fall. Yeah, like a hip check.
Yeah.
Almost.
Yeah, and he was never penalized.
Let him get away with it. It's a foul.
But that's you're going back.
It's crazy. I'm looking at both right now. I found a video on YouTube where they're playing both. Whatever this is.
Lucky you.
They're actually like they're showing them both in the same video.
Look,
it's crazy.
He looks at the ball and he's like, "Oh no, not really." Not really, Raya. You getting the fuck out. And then to me, also like the guilty thing is when you put your hands up. Like after doing something, it's like, oh,
you're busted. You
could not be more guilty.
It's just me, and we'll agree to disagree because I don't think there's anything you're going to say that's going to change my mind. I'm watching them both right now.
That's fine.
I think Raya needs to be stronger and not. He does get moved. He does.
But it's like he stares right up. Like I don't understand.
But what I'm saying is, but that's okay. But so back to Havertz dragging his foot. So Solanke is trying to create a little contact here by moving the goalkeeper out of the way, hoping that he doesn't get called for it and gets the result. Here's the other thing about this. The goal should have stood because Raya got back up to his feet and just didn't make the save. Because after he's impeded, he gets back to his feet, the ball hits the crossbar, comes back into play, and then he gets beat.
Well, but you can make the case if he doesn't get touched. You can make the case if he doesn't get touched, he could have just caught the ball.
Yeah, he would have. Yeah, he would have.
If he doesn't get touched, the whole play is null and void because
that's why they have to go all the way back to that. Yeah,
exactly. I disagree. I agree in the sense that goalkeepers probably need to be a little bit stronger, but I don't think there was anything that the Palace goalkeeper was going to do there against Højlund. Højlund's going into him. And I mean, like, and to your point, he doesn't know he's there. He's not looking at him. So he has no idea. So he goes in. Reckless isn't the right word to use, but it's the only word that's coming to mind because he doesn't know he's there. So he's going into the space completely unaware of what is already in it, which is fine. I'm not saying that. See, I think goalkeepers are more vulnerable than outfield because goalkeepers are not that the outfield players aren't obviously watching the ball. The goalkeeper's job is to go get the ball. And when they're like this, their arms are up in the air. All of this is now vulnerable. All of this is now vulnerable. So they have to be protected because if you let these players just go roughshod into the goalkeepers, they're going to break their sternums. They're going to kill them. If you let them do it, they're going to.
So you have to think Raya then got the same type of treatment then.
I think
stretched out and he's moved.
But
What's the difference?
I don't think the contact against Raya was as prevalent as it was against the Palace goalkeeper.
Okay.
But he still,
I
moved
think there was
him off
less
his spot.
contact with Solanke and Raya, and I think Raya.
But yet,
I think Raya let Solanke move him. I don't think the Palace goalkeeper had a choice. I think Højlund was going into the Palace goalkeeper and knocking him out of the way. I think Raya sensed the contact coming from Solanke, and he moved with it. Does that make sense?
No, yeah. Well, I don't agree. Yeah, I don't agree.
Because Raya doesn't.
Raya is like, I'm moving him, and I like again. But it goes to your point. You're like, oh, what's the goalie do? He's vulnerable with his hands up. Raya was the same thing. His hand was up.
I'm watching it. Hang on, I'm going to watch.
He had to move. We're not going to agree. I'm going to.
I hate that you put me in a position where I'm arguing against our guy.
I just think you're crazy. I kind of see what you're saying with the
Ryan. Here's the other thing too. Ryan makes the save,
but he would have caught. No, but that's not.
He wasn't going for it. He wasn't going
foul.
To catch it.
It doesn't matter what he did. The correct call should have been at the time. The play should have been blown dead.
But it wasn't blown dead on the contact.
But it should have been. Is my point. That was the right call. Was the play should have been dead. Should have been a foul. Should have been foul on Raya from Solanke. Should have been foul.
I'm watching it now.
That's fine. All right. Anyways, we're previewing Man U. Man U. This is the worst Man U team we've ever seen. And and this
they
is
weren't
bite me
the
in
way
the
real
ass.
quick.
What?
It wasn't the same video. It went from the Arsenal Bournemouth highlights to United Palace highlights. It's not the same. It's not the same video. Sorry.
Whatever. Anyways, I'm just gonna come out and say it. I'm gonna eat my words here, but I the last time I was this confident about us going up against Man U was when Rashford had his coming out party and he scored a brace against us, and that was the worst Man U team we've seen in a while. This Man U team is infinitely worse. We can beat them with 10 men on our worst day. You take our game against Tottenham, you take away a guy on our team, we still beat them. This Man U team's horrible. The only thing I'm worried about is our mentality going into the game and Man U's mentality going into the game. Because Ten Hag has been preaching all season long about how they should have beaten us and the penalty, and it's crazy how we're in his head so much. But I could totally see the players like buying into it and feeding into it and getting up for a game like this. And Man U always gets up for us because rivals. So I could definitely see the game being a little bit closer than it should be on paper. But we're 20 million times better than them. We really just need a plan for Bruno. Have a plan for him. They're obviously dangerous on the counter, but we are going to have a field day in their final third.
And just like Glenn last week, I'm going to drive the New Haven.
That's fine. We should have at least like minimum. If we like, it's funny. Like Elliot said it on Vision, but 20 shots minimum. I think we should have way more than that. They're the only team that's given up more shots in the Premier League is Sheffield United. They are second to last in shots.
Crazy.
So we are going to be in and like
second most in shots conceded.
Yeah,
We're gonna be all up in their grill. We're gonna, we're gonna be all up in their shit. We just need to put in the back of the net. Yes, Lisandro Martinez is coming back. I'm not too worried about him. He shouldn't. I mean, he might be fit enough to play, but I'm only worried about him for his violent conduct and for him potentially getting sent off, which I'm sure he'll do, and he won't get sent off.
I'm sending Havertz at him all day.
Yeah, I
send
agree.
Havertz at him all day long.
Think this is just if I'm not talking about Thomas Partey or Martin Odegaard at this game, I'll be very upset. They should have their best games of the season against this team. Yeah, I mean they're gonna get Odegaard and Partey are gonna get so much space to move in and work through. That they should be men of the match, or one of them should be men of the match. I'm, and it sucks because I'm saying I'm so confident, like, oh, we should wipe the floor with them, but like it's Man U, it's a rivalry game. Watching the game in real time, I'm not going to be confident. But leading up to the game, I mean, we should be 5-6-0 at halftime. I mean, I don't think people understand how bad they are.
Could you imagine?
But that's the thing, and it's always a thing, especially when we play Tottenham. Rivalry form goes out the window. Does not matter what we're doing. Things happen. I don't know. I think if they're going to get up for a game, it's going to be this game. I think Ten Hag's kind of been planning it since we last played them. The team has no identity. They're void of ideas. We just need to have the mentality of playing our best football and putting the ball in the back of the net. And we should really have no problem doing it, unless we shoot ourselves in the foot. The only, and it sucks because I hate this player so much. The only really player I'm worried about on their side is Bruno. Bruno on the counter attack. Bruno and Rashford. Yeah, again, shout out Vision. They run forward, they walk backwards. So I mean, them going forward is going to be interesting. Is going to be an interesting duo to kind of deal with. But like, I expect to be in their final third for, Jesus, I would say like 70 minutes of the 90-minute game. Like, I just dominate them.
I mean, real Ryan, I'll throw it to you, man. I'll let you go.
Yeah, I mean, Ryan, I think feels how most of us feel, and again, we'll talk about Clive, but he always says, don't play the badge, you know what I mean, and that's play the players, and that's what we have to. That's what we have to realize is like, and I never say this because like I don't want ever coming back, but like they're shit, right? Like they just are. They're beat up in the back. Their midfield's non-existent. Elise and Eze had a fucking field day the other day, just running through them. I mean,
was it Elise's goal where he just literally just dribbled straight at them and just shot it? It was like,
this is the worst thing is I'm worried that he won't play Casemiro now because Casemiro was absolutely cooked, fully cooked. Yep. So I was hoping that we'd get to play against that, but after what I saw against Palace, I'd be shocked if he was on the field. But regardless, I still feel confident in our midfield, of course. We're a horrible matchup for them. I mean horrible, because all the things that we're really good at are things that, and what they would have to try to defend, they would really, really struggle with it. So, yes, we should destroy them, and they have had it coming, especially at their place. But like we know, it just won't be that easy. And to Ryan's point, if there was a game that they actually wanted to fucking try, this would probably be it, especially at home, especially when I don't even know what they're holding on to right now. Is it Europa? Like, are they done? Like, I don't really know. So this
I'll
might
tell you
be,
in a minute because I was just looking at it, but
they have an FA Cup final.
Done.
Well, yeah, right. I mean,
against City. If they win a trophy with they're eighth, they're not looking good to make any European competition.
Right. So
all eyes are on that.
Doesn't sixth makes the Europa Conference, right?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, they have a chance at it, but I'm saying like right now they're in eighth. Chelsea passed them.
Right. So
Chelsea passed them on goal difference. They're both on 54.
So not much in the league. So beating Arsenal to stop us from winning or getting to. I mean, if they beat us, we're obviously not I mean, City would have to lose out. I mean, but if we lose, it's pretty much done. Like, I'm sure they'll feel great about that if they could do it. I'm sure their fans will. And then obviously, they do have an FA Cup final to prepare for or whatever. But yeah, they're horrible. And this can't be the game where we fucking stumble, like, because they're so bad. So I don't even want to think about a world where we don't win. But I know it won't be easy, even though on paper and on form it should be, but we know how these ones go, so we'll see.
Yeah, I am everything that I look at, everything that I think about lends itself to giving me that I'm pissing confidence right now with going into this game. It's that worries me. I am so far it's funny. I'm not superstitious with Arsenal. It's weird. I'm not. I have one superstition with Arsenal now, and that is I don't play FIFA or EAFC during the season now. It's the dumbest thing. I'd play a season and we were shit. And I'm like, I'm done. I'm not playing it, blah, blah, blah. And here we go. Look,
oh my God.
Two years on the bounce, cuz. 2 years on the bounce. So listen, if it ain't broke, I ain't fixing it. You dig? Listen, the superstitions, I could tell you stories. They're all hockey related. I don't have superstitions with baseball. I don't have superstitions with the NFL or college. I've got a little bit of a superstition with Michigan. But I don't have a superstition with Arsenal. And I think about it too. Like, I think, what color socks did I wear last? Did I wear white socks last week? Did I wear black socks last week? What jersey did I wear last week? Should I wear the away kit from 2 years ago that I have because I don't have this year's? Like that. That's a superstition. I won't wear the home shirt if the team aren't wearing the home shirt. So I guess that's a bit of a superstition. Point being, if there's another superstition, it's getting overconfident before a match. And I was this way last week, even with Bournemouth. And I'm like, they're good. Like, let's give them their flowers. That, fifth best in the league since November 1st. 5 points off top four for a team that just came up. They just came up this year. No, they came up last year. They stayed up last year. That's right. So I wanted to be a little leery of them. Like, this is the game, meaning Bournemouth, where we would have stumbled looking ahead to United. I think Bournemouth are better than United by a mile, by a country mile.
Yeah.
And everything that OG said, we should bury them. It very well could be. This could be a repeat of Sheffield United at Bramall Lane. It might be 5-0 at halftime. Could you imagine at Old Trafford 5-0 at halftime?
Right, because they'll give up. We've seen them do it. Like, those players will down tools.
I think they've given up already. I'll be honest. I think they've given up already.
They probably have. After what happened at Palace,
I think they know they're playing for a dead man walking.
Yep.
And I will say this. Like, I talked to some United folks around here in Pittsburgh and intelligent United fans. And when I say intelligent,
what are those?
Yeah, right. They're not the I'm a Man United fan because I don't know anybody else in the league and I'm going to root for them because they're the only team I've ever heard of. These people know the United history. They know what they're talking about, well, you know what I mean. They know their history. Whether they know what they're talking about but like they would you have sacked Ten Hag by now? I'm like, by the time you would have it would have been a consideration and something that you're really thinking about doing, it's probably too late. You're not going to get anything out of the season anyway.
Right.
Just let him go. At this point, just let him go. He knows he's done at the end of the season. The players know he's done at the end of the season. So now Ten Hag, I don't know what he's gunning for at this point. He's not going to save his job. There was a rumor that Bayern is going to come in for him. Huh? But crazier things have happened. I think they've given up. I think he is probably giving up. It's like we're just going to go through the motions. Don't anybody get hurt. Do your best. Look, you'll put yourself in the shop window. Give an effort if you want out of here. But but see, that's the thing. It does worry me. It does, like OG said, it's a rivalry game, and then the form just goes out the window, and all of the shit that Ten Hag has talked about us from that first game. If it's 2-0 at halftime to United, I won't be shocked. I just
wait, what?
I won't. Here's why. Because it's just one of those.
You won't be shocked.
I won't be. Here's why I won't be shocked, because it's just one of those things that it's like it's the universe knocking us down a few pegs, and that doesn't shock me. Like we shouldn't. We're so far clear of them. It's not even funny. They're not even a top 10 side. I don't know how they're going to finish top 10 because they're not. But it's just one of those things that it's like. Maybe it's overconfidence. Maybe our players are going into it saying, we're going to batter them. And we go in way overconfident and we, push too high up. We get caught on the counter. They hit us with a 3-0 break, 3-0 break, like Liverpool did. The only guy back is Declan Rice, and he's got to go gadget arms to try to, or go gadget legs to make a play to try to stop him from scoring. Now, everything you guys said, they're so bad. I think it's almost unbelievable how bad they really are. Like how bad a Manchester United team is.
I think the only thing that I would worry about is us getting a little bit too hype about trying to beat the brakes off them, and we start to lose a little bit of. You know what I mean?
Darkness.
And I've seen us do that before. Where, hey, we should kill this team, and we want to score. We're trying to pile it on so bad, and then all of a sudden the ball's going the other way. We're like, oh shit! Like that's a bad break that we just gave up, and they almost scored, or they did score, or whatever. That I could be a little bit worried about, especially with Bruno and Rashford.
And to Jackson's point here, here's the other thing that cannot go unacknowledged is the goddamn officiating. It's at Old Trafford,
and Manchester.
It's Paul Tierney. Yep, and it just like, come on, I hate to say that we shouldn't have to say this. It shouldn't be a thing, but here we are.
No.
And there's going to be a role for Paul Tierney to play in this game. There's going to be.
Oh yeah.
There will be moments. I'm not going to say where he can make or break the game, but there are going to be moments where he will have a very important decision to make. It might be a second yellow. It might be a straight red. It might be a penalty call. It might be a handball. But there are going to be some very big moments in this game for Paul Tierney to preside over.
Which sucks because I think we're so much better than them. I don't know.
Yeah.
He can get involved in like 5 big plays. We still should win. And they all go against us. But again, goes back to the rivalry thing. It's a rivalry. Form goes out the window. Everything goes out the window. It's a rivalry. Yeah. So I'm going to be shitting my pants once we kick off. But until then, I'm going to be shitting my pants probably Saturday night before. I hope Arteta names only 10 players in the starting 11. I'm like, oh, we're going to still win. Like, he's going to
sit Raya and Ramsdale. We're just not going to use a keeper.
Yeah. Just like, I think we still win. Like, but again, once we kick off, I'm going to be like, shit. Here we go.
Mikel Arteta is going to reinvent the game. We're going to play with no goalkeeper. Yeah. He's going to start Jorginho on the new contract, and Thomas Partey, and Declan Rice, and Martin Odegaard, and sit David Raya. That's how it's going to go. We're just going to play 11 outfield players.
That's so funny.
Let's go. OG, give me your final thought. We're going to get out of here.
I mean, that is my final thought. Like, yeah.
Okay. Ryan, give me your
Yeah, go.
No.
I'm done. No, I really am. Like, we should literally, I'm going to be squeezing my cheeks once we kick off. But until then, like, we should destroy them. Give every decision against us.
Listen, don't speak it into existence.
No, well, like, this Man U team is so bad. They have no identity. They can produce goals on the counter, but conceding only Sheffield conceding more shots than them is just crazy. And like,
Yeah.
we're gonna have the ball. They're gonna want us. They want us to have the ball. Okay, we're gonna be in their final third for at least 70 of the 90 minutes. I even go as far as we'll say 8. We should be in their final third the entire game. We should suffocate them in the first 10 minutes of the game. But
Stranger things have happened.
yeah.
Real Ryan? Final thought?
Yeah, I'm just gonna. I mean, this is kind of a thing I've been talking about at the end of a lot of these shows, and I mean, for me, it's so hard because I know how bad we want to win, the league and everything. But I'm just trying to enjoy it, right? Like,
Yeah.
and Glenn talked about this earlier. It has been such an enjoyable season. If we fall short, yeah, like I'm gonna be really sad, but I don't want that. What could happen and the pain I will feel then to ruin how awesome and fun it's been, up until this point. So, yes, I'm going to be nervous for the United game. I'm kind of like Ryan now. Like, I'm not nervous whatsoever, but I know once we kick off, I'll be like, be a different story. But, yeah, my main thing is, like, I just want to enjoy these last 2 games of the season. And wherever we finish, we finish. But, I'm really trying to think about that a lot more instead of, what City are doing? Are they going to drop points? If they don't drop points, like I'm not getting involved in all that anymore. I'm just going to enjoy these games, and it is what it's going to be. So yeah.
Yeah, well said. And I agree. Yeah, like let's just we do our job, right? We do our job, and the chips will fall where they will, and that's the best we can. That's all we can do.
Yep.
Hopefully Fulham or the shitbags or the Hammers will pull off pull a rabbit out of their ass, and let's see. But enjoy the ride. That's kind of the overarching theme of this panel, of this show, of our tenure on YouTube has always just kind of been, look, enjoy the ride, and just remember that at the end of the day, only one team is going to win a trophy. At the end of every competition, only one team can win it. So. And Manchester City are not infallible. Madrid proved that. Granted, it is Real Madrid, but they did show that they're not Thanos or whatever he is from the Avengers. Snapping their finger and they win the quadruple. So, Jackson 3-point sniper was out there. Alex jumped in late. Bronx Gunner, as always, is with us. Thank you very much, sir, for being out there. Russ Morgan jumped in to say hello as well. Thank you, everyone out there who is watching on YouTube. If you're on YouTube, drop us a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you are not already. We are 8 away. We're losing subscribers to the channel.
No.
So we've got to be doing something wrong here. I don't know. We're not doing anything wrong. I don't know how it works, but it does. We're 8 away from 1,000. We would very much like to hit the 1,000 mark, 1,000 subscribers before the end of the season. We've got 10 days. We've got 10 days to do that. So please, please, please subscribe if you are not already. Tell a friend, tell a family member, tell a coworker, hell, tell your pet and get your dog to smash that like button for us. And if you are subscribed, click the bell icon. That way you always know when we go live. If you're watching on Twitter/X, thank you guys very much for being out there. A lot of you are now watching us on Twitter/X. We've got 160 of you watching out there. So thank you guys very much for that. If you're watching on replay and you've made it this far as well, thank you very much for the support. We greatly, greatly, greatly appreciate it. Yeah, it's a big one this weekend, as we all know. In America, it is also Mother's Day, and I know for a fact, because she told me, your mom wants you to get involved and watch Arsenal and Manchester United on Sunday. That is it for us, everyone. It's been good footy talk. We'll see you out there.